What motivates you?
What motivates me is number one, God. Number one, God motivates me, and also the kids motivate me, and wife motivate me. All that stuff is play always come first. And at this point in time in my life, hey, I just like to keep serving God, and it motivated me is being around good people, positive people. And right now we got Ted Sutton coming in right now. And
what's going on, brother?
Yes.
Good to see you.
Yes, this is my good friend over 20-something years longer, but look, God's good. We ain't going nowhere. He ain't okay. He ain't going nowhere. I'm looking for my little soldier, Jeremiah. Where's Jeremiah?
Yeah, they on their way.
Oh, he better get here quicker. That's my little soldier.
They on their way.
And look who I got right here. Do you want to sing right now or later? We gonna wait? Nah. You want to
sing something?
Come on, you gotta sing something. I'm gonna get you, put you on the spot. I'm gonna do it this time. Got you now.
Sing something.
Go.
Anything you want.
Anything. It's all on you.
Okay. Okay. 'Cause I get so weak, blood starts racing through my veins. I get so weak, boy, it's something I can't explain. I get so weak, something about the way you do the things you do. It knocks me right off of my feet. 'Cause I can't explain why your love makes me weak.
Some of these young guys, man, they want to fight. They just don't have nothing to fight for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I'm just like, yeah, you love fighting. And I'm just like, but man, I want you to have something to fight for though, brother. You know what I'm saying? Fight for something. Fight for something.
Right.
Fight for something. Stand for something. Please don't, I'm like, you know what? I was like, it should be unacceptable for you to have to die in an alley and the last vision that you see is trash and rats running around in your face. You know what I'm saying? We trying to do and give away everything that we can to try to make a difference out here. And this is what it's all about, is being able to not just talk about love, but being able to show love.
Right, yeah.
We got some good people here in Baltimore, and we don't mind coming out into the community to show them that, it's more than just what the news say that we are.
Right.
Okay, well, actually today, this was just one of the places that we were going, and today we was giving out clothes and jackets, coats, different things for adults and children in the community. My good friend, Chef Vaughn, and one of his partners, they actually were here at the school, and this is in West Baltimore. And periodically, we do different things, and like he also assists me when I do the back to school giveaway and the toy giveaway and the giving away, the food and having dinners. You know what I'm saying? He's very supportive. So today we were here at Belmont Elementary School and just open it up to the community. Anybody want to come. The food was free, the clothes were free, and we're just trying to have a good time. And as far as with that, and we also had the opportunity to just talk to some people. Some of my history, with that, my father was a community activist and also a civil rights leader. He organized with Dr. King at Sutton and Grambling University. He also was a community activist as a pastor of two churches, one up in the Park Heights area. My mother, she worked for Medgar Evers at Jackson State University. She marched with him and Emmett Burns on a street called Lynch Street in Jackson, Mississippi, and the German Shepherds sicked on her because they were marching for equality. They also were some of the ones who went out and helped to search for the three civil rights leaders who came up missing in Mississippi. She did 35 years in the school system, choosing some of the schools that had some more challenging issues, with them down in Lexington Terrace and Cherry Hill, in the Park Heights area, and different things of that nature. And just starting out with that, just giving you some of, my roots on that side. Now, I ended up kind of being I was their middle child, and being that middle child at the time, I didn't know who I was and whose I was. Felt like my younger brother was the baby, felt like my older brother was the golden child, and I was trying to figure out my way. Turned out I ended up in middle school where some guys tried to take my Butter Crunch cookies off my tray. And you can't do that, that's a violation. And so it was really something, and not having really any family from here, because my family moved from the South and to Philadelphia, and then I was born here, Mercy Hospital. And but not having any family, I just had my brothers here, and it seemed like when you fight somebody in Baltimore, it seemed like everybody came out the house. Brothers, cousins, uncle, you know what I'm saying? So, but I ended up taking a stand, with that, that's simple. And because when I realized something is that adults couldn't protect me. And when I say that, my good parents who had that motto, don't mess with nobody will mess with you, well, that didn't apply here. And I ended up seeing people getting stuffed in lockers, and I didn't want to be one of them. So if I had to choose between being predator or prey, I was going to be on the side of being a predator. And so when they tried to take those cookies, I took it back, and I was just like, check this out. There's about 7 of them. Like, you're going to have to go through me to get these cookies. You're going to have to, if you have to, you're going to have to kill me. Now looking at it now in hindsight, I think that may have been a little bit overkill, a little excess for the 3-pack Butter Crunch cookies. But I will say that it introduced me into a whole different life, because what I realized is that they said, well, shoot, man, he either don't know who we are or we crazy. And I really didn't know who they were. And it turned out they were some of the same young people that they wrote the series The Wire behind. And so I ended up hooking up with this group. And so a lot of people may know who my godfather was, Little Malvin Williams. And I ended up getting the name of Crazy Ted.
Wow. Dr. Ted Sutton. All right, brother. All power to the people. All power to the people. All power to the people. So I'm Dr. Ted Sutton, but if you ever Google Crazy Ted, my face is going to come up. So, but I don't try to share that part to brag about being in the streets and being part of what was insane at the time. I share it so that people can have a point of reference of how far God brought me. Because I wasn't a mediocre sinner, so I refused to be a mediocre saint. That's one of the things. Hey, brother, can you hit that for me real quick? Just indulge me for a little bit. A little bit more, yeah. Now, this wasn't part of it. But I like this ambiance, and I'm doing something a little bit different. And it goes something like this. I sit back and reminisce about some of my old days. Deep as the abyss in a lot of crazy ways. See, I didn't used to be the goody two. Shoot, I was a yo with my crew, but now I'm new. Boo, but when you think about it, we didn't talk about it. Me and my crew back then, we was about it. And I really don't know how I even made it this far when I sit back and think it's bizarre. But I guess the Lord must have been checking me. In fact, the Lord must have been blessing me to allow those bullets to go around me. So this G can see another day, B. So now it's my job to give back to the community. It's like having diplomatic immunity. This evil world is nothing they can do to me. And Armageddon, you better know it's soon to be. I'm not a rapper, talk about it with Versace's or Hirachis. That kind of stuff don't got me. So as a Rachi, go ahead and give me your Rachi before I jet G, just like a jet ski. What?
So coming from a family that had a civil rights background, I had an uncle that was a Black Panther out in California, with Bunchy Carter. And so I had some roots, but I wasn't embracing those roots because it didn't seem like that was the thing to do at the time. I mean, none of those accolades were getting me praises in school or things of that nature. And so I ended up hooking up with this crew, and I learned, some different traits and different things. And I wasn't what you would consider a drug dealer. I would have been considered something like collections. I helped persuade people to honor their bills that they may have owed. And what ended up happening later, so I was known as Crazy Ted, carried a sawed-off shotgun. And that was part of the image as far as Crazy Ted, because nobody carries that on a daily basis, because that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that, as calculated as I was, because I always like to play life like chess, not like checkers. Not one move at a time. I always wanted to be at least 8 or 9 moves above my opponent. And that's how I, kind of looked at things. And so I ended up, getting the name in Park Heights or Hilltop and Flag House, even younger, Lexington Terrace, different places. And, and I realized that it was something, because it seemed like this was something to help me, really, for nobody to mess with me. Because really I made some examples of certain situations so that people would understand that I'm not the one to be played with. And so it really was like I was doing certain things so I won't have no problems down the road.
Right. What's he called?
Old Faithful.
Ooh. Man, listen, he had this bad since I was, look at it.
Some old habits is hard to kick, huh?
Man, well, he had this since I was a 7th grade. I'm a junior in college now. I'm trying to tell you. And remind you, I didn't go straight to college till 2 years after I graduated from high school. So you do the math.
Yeah, man, that's something though. It's funny. I'm gonna tell you, but let me tell you how much I messed with him, man. We was one of the guys in my crew. I told you he got paralyzed before, or whatever. Well, anyway, his daughter, man. He had one of the guys that be with me, man. His daughter, she called me up, man. She had a little problem with her father. So we went over there, man. So when I called and when I talked to them, and she's telling me that the dude put his hands on her and he spit on her. So I was heated. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because that's like a no-no. That's like some serious violation. So I'm like, we going over there. So I got him with me. But I'm trying to stay calm because, here I'm changed my life. I'm trying to help people. I talk positive and all of that stuff. Man, I got over there and the dude wouldn't even come outside. So he talked to me through the window. So afterwards, man, I just talked to him and I said, look, yo, check this out. I said, would you really want somebody like you to be with your daughter? Would you want somebody exactly like you you would walk her down the aisle and you would put her hand into his hand? I said, I want you to tell me honestly. And he was like, no, he actually wouldn't. And I said, well, then why is it good enough for the mother then? You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, if you feel, and I was just like, man, so sometimes you got to know when to walk away. And then I gave him my number and I said, now, in the future, if you ever feel that you want to get physical, call this number. Call me. You can talk to me. I will meet you somewhere and we can talk. But then if you also want to get physical, we gonna work that out. So, man, and you know what? But I got in the car, man, and I was like, I said, yo, I'm so glad that he didn't come outside. And I said, because if he had started talking reckless, man, I was gonna knock him out. And he was like, nah, Mr. Ted. He said, because I planned on knocking him out for you. You know what I'm saying? So to see that he is so concerned about, my well-being, as much as I've been trying to be there for him to make sure you stay calm, to make sure you don't get locked up, to make sure you don't get in no trouble. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and to see him now, playing that part like, nah, I'm here to make sure you don't get in trouble, Mr. Ted. I'm making sure
you don't get locked up. You know what I'm saying? All in the paper, you know.
They want to add me in there. It was just done right.
See, that mean a lot to me that, you know what I'm saying, that a brother cares enough about me that he feels that if he could just get to me, we can work this out. And I love that, you know what I'm saying? So that's just, you know, how that was. So this young man that you may see or that you may talk to, I mentored around the world in different places in the country, talk to people, work with people, different things like this. But this young man right here, you know what I'm saying, is really something that he's someone that means a lot to me, you know. And in fact, when we went to the White House, you know, and we were speaking when Obama was in place, because the new president, he didn't invite us, you know what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying, but when Obama was there, we were there, and he almost had people in tears, man, and he was saying, you know, pretty much that I was the closest thing to a father that he had, and he really just was talking about the difference that I made in his life. What they didn't share about my son Jeremiah is he's 11, but he plays the bass guitar. He makes his own movies. He actually draws artwork. He's a yellow belt in Taekwondo, and he's a yellow belt in Tendo, martial arts. My 7-year-old is actually a green belt in Taekwondo, and he plays the drums. I want my children to have an edge. And that was also my daughter Genesis that was up there singing. So I share that to say is that you're looking at somebody that's blessed. You're looking at somebody that should not be here. You see, I did not earn the right to be here. What I earned actually was death. But I was given a second chance. And I share that, and that's why I go after the ones that people have given up on. See, part of the problem is some of the people who are in positions to help our community, they have made a decision that they have already written some people off. And they have felt that they're not worth trying to save. It's unfortunate, just like, okay, when you got a club, you make the working man pay double, but then you'll let Puffy in for free, who could buy the building. See, we gotta understand that if the message doesn't come from the real, it's not gonna get here.
So my first question I wanna ask, based on what you just shared with, is if you can change any aspect in your life, and I'm not saying this from a judgment standpoint, but just truly from a curiosity standpoint, what would this Ted tell the young Ted?
It's funny you say that, because I have struggled with that for a while, because I say if I change certain things, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Absolutely.
And so I may not have come in contact with Lil Melvin. I may not have had Dennis Wise to be a mentor to me, and I may not have had certain things, and I may not understand certain things that brothers go through as far as with that. One of the chapters in my book is called "Don't Be Born an Original and Die a Copy." Mm-hmm. And to me, it's so significant that we see the potential. See, I was going to be a leader. It was just which side was I going to be on.
Right.
So was I going to be somebody that was definitely fight the power like Malcolm X and some of the brothers who had gone before me. I mean, I actually helped do the security for my guys for Dr. Khalid Muhammad at the first Million Man March, you know, and had a chance to be on stage, you know, and was on stage when Minister Louis Farrakhan came to Howard, you know, University, and I had, and so for me, if I had not taken that path, which I would never encourage someone to take that path, because I think that God ordained me to survive. Because I would tell the average person, man, I'm not sure if you would survive this. In fact, I put the disclaimer out there off the muscle when I talk to them. I'm like, look, don't try this at home. You know what I'm saying? I want you gotta put the disclaimer out here. Do not try this at home. You do not want to be me, because they don't know how, even when I share with the young people what I go through, one of the things is that this is like therapy for me. This is redemption for me. Because I don't know how many young people saw me with that long lambskin coat, that sawed off hanging out, talking about who wants some, you can get it right now, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you better step off. And I don't know if a young man saw me wanting to be me, and he didn't make it. Or he's in life, in prison. One of the significant letters that I actually carry around with me, it's in my bag. It's from one of my guys, the one that served in Life Plus 20, and he wrote me, said, man, I'm reading about you in the Rolling Stone magazine. He said, I can't believe that I ever was with somebody that's doing something good. He said, but man, check this out. I need for you to keep on talking to them young cats. He said, because tell them they don't want to be me. And that was one of my fighters. He was one of my pit bulls, Chuck. And he said, I'm locked down 23 hours a day. I'm let out 1 hour a day. He said, I'm in a prison underneath the ground in Texas. And he's been deemed dangerous, so they put him on something that's called no human contact. The guards are not supposed to talk to him. And he wrote me, he said, but this was the key piece that got me. At the end of it, he said, the reason I need for you to keep doing what you're doing, he said, because from this point on, I'm going to have to live my life through your eyes. He said, I will never probably hug my daughter again. He said, can you please check and see if my grandparents are still alive, because the letters are coming back. And he said, but I need for you to live your life. He said, because right now you living for me. And that statement, I'm going to have to live my life through your eyes, meaning what you see is I want you to take a few seconds, because you looking for me this time. You know what I'm saying? That is something. And I may never, if all the work that I've done, I have stopped a mugger from mugging a lady up in Walbrook Junction. I stopped a carjacker from carjacking somebody on Liberty Road. And I ran in a burning building and saved a young girl who was on fire, and caught her brother from the 3rd floor and gave him mouth to mouth. But you know what I'm saying? And this is with 65 people outside watching me, and not one person helped me while I was doing all of this. And these burn marks you see on my hands right here is because I was pulling her as she was burning. And I had to roll her around and take my coat off and put the fire out as she was burning. Now that's what I do, because I wasn't a mediocre sinner, so I refused to be a mediocre saint. Wow. And see, and that's why I think that I have to, it's hard to say if I would have changed anything as much as I would have wanted to.
Right.
I would not have wanted my girlfriend to die. I would not have wanted to have my best friend turn state's evidence on me after they flipped him, saying he'll never see his children again. I would not have wanted to have my mother on her knees crying. My father at the church, he was at the church with another pastor, Bishop Miles, at their church praying for their son, saying, why won't my son come home? Why I'm trying to save his life. I wouldn't have wanted to take my family through what I did. But I realized that my path was ordained to go through this. And I had to do exactly what I'm doing now so that I could understand. How can I help somebody suffering if I ain't never suffered? How can I ever talk about somebody about don't pull that trigger if I ain't been in a situation with that gun in my hand ready to pull that trigger? I can't share nothing with nobody if I haven't seen and been in the exact place they've been in. I let them know I've been there, done that, wrote the book, and starred in the movie. And I said, and so you looking at your future, but you looking at one alternate future. Because you know what? One time I was actually home and I was actually just praying, and I was praying. This was like 4 a.m. And and my family out there was like, what are you doing? It was like the dog is barking. You done woke the kids up. And they said, what you doing? And I said, man, I'm praying. And they said, well, what would you be praying for? And I said, you know what? I said, I'm praying right now that my life ain't a dream. I said, I'm praying that one of those bullets ain't hit me and I'm really in a coma right now. I said, I'm praying that I ain't in a jail cell and they getting ready to say, that the open the cell, open gate 24.
You know what I'm saying? I'm praying. I said, because for real, I said, if I'm dreaming, I don't want to wake up. I was like, if I'm in a coma right now, let me think I'm helping people. Let me think I'm changing lives. Let me think that I'm saving lives, and I'm running and burning buildings, and I'm helping stopping carjackers, and I'm talking to dudes that's on the corner, and I'm going in the trap house, and I'm working with the gang members. Let me think that that's my life. And I said, because if I ain't living that, I don't want to be alive.